Born in 1903, Ella Baker grew up surrounded by the stories of her grandparents' experiences and how they'd been enslaved. These early lessons in hardship, hard work, and the strength of community stuck with her, allowing her to develop a strong sense of commitment to justice and equality. Ella Baker's first major role in the civil rights movement began in 1941, when she became a field secretary for America's oldest, yet largest, civil rights organization, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, or the NAACP. Despite the risks of being a Black woman in America, she traveled extensively to recruit members and raise funds. Moving on to the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, Baker embraced the role as a grassroots organizer. As a woman, she faced resistance from her male leaders who questioned her community-first approach.
A lot of men in the movement were more forward-facing and ended up doing a lot of the, on-the-ground type movement stuff, and that the women were sort of relegated to organizing and caretaking.
Baker wanted more of the public's opinions voiced at this table, especially women, recognizing how underrepresented many of them had been during the time. This allowed her to stick to her values, advocating that real power doesn't come from just a single leader, but from empowering communities as a whole. The tragic and brutal murder of Emmett Till marked a pivotal moment in the civil rights movement, particularly due to his young age. This horrific event opened the world's eyes, pushing them to advocate for meaningful change. Activist Ella Baker understood the significance of youth involvement in the struggle for justice, recognizing that the energy and passion of younger generations was essential for driving the movement forward. As a result, she played a significant role in the formation of the Student Nonviolence Coordinating Committee. By calling a meeting for student activists and taking on the advisory role, she allowed young leaders to drive change, especially during critical moments like Freedom Summer. Her approach demonstrated that empowering new leaders is essential for lasting social progress. Baker once said that what is needed is the development of people who are interested in not being leaders as much as developing leadership among other people. She challenged both racism and sexism within the movement by elevating marginalized voices and insisting on collective, community-based leadership. Her commitment reminds us that true power lies in unity and shared purpose. Music and culture have always been powerful tools of resistance, especially in civil rights. Just as blues musicians gave voices to the struggle of the movement, Baker amplified the voices of those wanting to fight for justice.
With like BLM, that like there's no one in charge, and so it sort of is these grassroots campaigns that are happening throughout the country. Like you'll have an organized march that happens in every state on one day.
Today, Ella Baker's legacy lives on through grassroots movements like Black Lives Matter and #MeToo, which continue to use her core belief that real change comes from the power of community. Her life reminds us that history isn't just something we study, it's something we carry. So as we think about our own roles in shaping the future, I encourage you to start a conversation with someone in your family. How has their past shaped the values they hold today? Because when we connect to our history, we learn how to build a better tomorrow.